Welcome to the Tim Booker channel, where wisdom deserves to be shared. Wishing you a joyful listening experience. Today, we will delve into authentic happiness. How to live a life full of energy and happiness. There used to be a popular question, are you happy? Happiness is everyone's dream, but not everyone is happy. Researchers conducted a happiness test by sampling 3,000 American adults. The results showed that, on a scale of 10, the average happiness index in the United States is 6.92. The time people feel happy is 54.1%, unhappy 20.5%, and neutral 25.4%. You see, there are people who feel unhappy as well. Whether a person is happy or not depends on their definition of happiness and whether they know how to achieve lasting happiness. Today, the book we are discussing will tell you, in a straightforward yet scientifically rigorous manner, what authentic happiness is. The author of this book is Dr. Martin E. P. Seligman, a highly regarded figure in the field of American psychology. Some of you might be familiar with him. He is the founder of positive psychology, widely recognized as the father of positive psychology. In 1998, he was elected as the president of the American Psychological Association with the highest number of votes in history. As the father of positive psychology, Seligman no longer focuses solely on alleviating people's suffering. He believes that psychology should not only be about correcting flaws and errors but should also concentrate on building people's sense of happiness and making it last. Psychology should help people find their strengths and the meaning of life. He believes the central theme of positive psychology is happiness. In addition to the book we are introducing today, he has authored others such as Know Thyself, Accept Thyself, Live Optimistically, and Raise Optimistic Children. These books, part of Seligman's Happiness Course series, will be presented one by one on the Tim Booker channel. For everyone, this book can be considered a psychological classic that you must read to enhance your sense of happiness. Seligman has comprehensively summarized the research in the field of happiness psychology in this book. However, it is not a psychology textbook but a guide to happiness in real life. Differing from other self-help psychology books that teach you to be forgiving of others' mistakes, to look at problems positively, and to focus on spiritual cultivation, Seligman combines the spiritual and material aspects from a psychological perspective, introducing a new concept of happiness. That is, you will feel happy when your spiritual investment brings vitality and abundance to your life. In today's audio, I will discuss three aspects: the definition of happiness, the formula for happiness, and methods for increasing happiness. Let's explore how to live a life full of energy and happiness. Now, let's begin with the first topic, the definition of happiness. Different people may have different views on the definition of happiness. Some may consider it as making a lot of money, traveling wherever they want, or being with their loved ones. Others may find happiness through seeking contrasts in life, pursuing a healthy body, or finding spiritual solace through faith. In this book, the author proposes a measure of happiness, which is life satisfaction. He believes that true happiness includes three core elements: positive emotions, engagement, and a sense of meaning in life. 10 years after the publication of this book, the author re-evaluated his theory of happiness. In his subsequent book, Flourish, he redefined happiness. This book marks a turning point in his understanding of happiness. If we call the theory in this book Happiness 1.0, then the theory in Flourish is Happiness 2.0. After years of reflection, Seligman believed that the concept of happiness should encompass everything people seek, including relationships and achievements. He stated that happiness does not have a single standard but varies in degrees of vitality depending on one's psychological investment. Happiness flourishes when life is full of vigor and joyful emotions. To achieve a happy life, there are 5 essential elements. 1. Positive emotions. 2. Good relationships. 3. Engagement. 4. Meaning and purpose. 5. Accomplishment. When your life is filled with enthusiasm and energy due to your psychological investment, you will experience happiness. That concludes our discussion of the first topic, the definition of happiness. To summarize, the author believes that the essence of happiness includes everything people seek, and a happy life should possess 5 elements: positive emotions, good relationships, engagement, meaning, and accomplishment. Happiness is felt when life is vibrant due to psychological investment. Alright, let's move on to the second topic, the formula for happiness. If we can measure happiness, the author provides a happiness formula, H equals S plus C plus V. H represents the durability of your happiness, S stands for the range of your happiness, C represents your living environment, and V denotes factors you can control yourself. In other words, your happiness range, combined with your living environment and the factors you can control, equals the durability of your happiness. The higher the durability of happiness, the happier you are. What does this mean? Let's break it down step by step. First, let's talk about H. H represents durability. Why emphasize the durability of happiness? For instance, the happiness test often focuses on temporary happiness. However, this transient happiness can lead to emptiness once it passes. The challenge lies in how to increase the durability of your happiness, which cannot be achieved by merely increasing temporary happiness. True happiness comes from having the capacity for lasting happiness. Now, let's move on to S. S represents the range of happiness. Each of us has a range of both positive and negative emotions, and this range is a genetic component that determines our overall happiness level. There is an example. Lisa, a single mother, has been in a low mood every day, not because her husband abandoned her 3 years ago, but since 25 years ago. One day, a miracle happened, and Lisa won a $22 million lottery jackpot. She was ecstatic, quit her job immediately, bought a luxury house, the most expensive car, and sent her children to a private school. You would think she should be very happy by all accounts. However, strangely, her mood eventually returned to low levels. After a psychological evaluation, it was diagnosed that she had chronic depression, even though she had no reason to be depressed. Lisa's story made psychologists wonder if we are born with a happiness range that is unchangeable. The fact is, this innate range is like a thermostat. Even if happy events raise our emotions, it dutifully resets our happiness to the usual setting, just like in Lisa's case. Similarly, when unfortunate events occur, this thermostat pulls you out of the low point and returns you to the preset level. Another reason that prevents you from elevating your happiness level is the hedonic treadmill principle. What does the hedonic treadmill principle mean? It suggests that when good things happen one after another, you quickly adapt to them and begin to take them for granted, no longer feeling grateful. For example, the more wealth you acquire, the higher your expectations become, and this cycle continues, preventing you from ever reaching true happiness. A cross-national survey revealed that in affluent countries, people tend to have higher life satisfaction. However, once the per capita income exceeds $8,000, increasing wealth does not lead to a sustained increase in life satisfaction. The top 100 on the Forbes rich list are only slightly happier than the average American. This is because fortunate events and high achievements do not provide long-term happiness, only short-term effects. So, S represents the range of happiness, and your innate optimism or pessimism, as well as your adaptability to good events, limit your upper limit of happiness. Everyone's happiness range is different, but it cannot be changed. Now, let's discuss C. C is your living environment. Regarding the environmental factor, the good news is that it can indeed enhance happiness. The bad news is that such improvements can be costly and impractical. Research indicates that certain factors in the living environment are associated with increased happiness. For example, living in an affluent society rather than a poor one, being married instead of divorced, avoiding negative events and emotions, having a rich social life, many friends, and having religious beliefs, among other things. However, some factors in the living environment have little to no effect on increasing happiness. For instance, making more money, staying healthy, pursuing education, changing your ethnicity, or moving to a warmer climate. As you can see, in the living environment, some happiness-related factors are either unchangeable or inconvenient to change. Even if you could alter all external factors, they may not significantly improve your happiness since they only contribute a small portion to your overall well-being. This brings us to V. V stands for factors you can control, and it's the most crucial aspect of positive psychology. By taking charge of these controllable variables, you can make substantial changes and elevate your happiness to the highest point within your range. These controllable factors include your perspectives on the past, present, and future. For example, you might be content and proud of the past but unhappy with the present and pessimistic about the future. Conversely, you might currently have a lot of happiness but harbor resentment for the past and feel hopeless about the future. When you learn to adjust your views of the past, present, and future to a positive state, your happiness levels significantly rise and last longer. However, these changes require genuine effort to achieve. In summary, the formula for happiness is H equals S plus C plus V. H represents the durability of happiness, S signifies the range of your innate optimism and adaptability, and C represents factors in your living environment. Some of these factors cannot be changed, and others are inconvenient to alter. Even if you could change all external factors, they may not contribute significantly to your happiness since they only account for a small portion. You have more control over V, the factors you can control, which include your perspectives on the past, present, and future. This is the most vital component of positive psychology. When you adjust these controllable variables and learn to see the past, present, and future in a positive light, you can make your life full of energy and attain a happy existence. So, how can we actually increase our happiness? Alright, let's move on to the third topic. Practicing gratitude and forgiveness can make you happier. Why is that? The author says that gratitude and forgiveness can change your memories and make you happier. Emotions related to certain memories can vary. These emotions can be satisfaction, contentment, pride, and calmness, or they can be resentment, grudges, and anger. These emotions are entirely determined by your perspective on the matter. Let's consider this example. After her divorce, every time Linda hears her ex-husband's name, she immediately thinks of his betrayal, which makes her furious. Even though they've been divorced for 20 years, Mary, on the other hand, feels proud. She went through hardships, but her life now satisfies her. It's evident that how one interprets a particular event determines the emotions they feel when recalling it. If a person can't appreciate the good times of the past and remains fixated on past misfortunes, their emotions won't be positive. Therefore, gratitude and forgiveness are the best ways to break free from this pessimistic mindset. So, how can you practice gratitude and forgiveness? The author introduces a method called the Reach Forgiveness technique. This method was developed by a forgiveness psychologist named Worthington, who managed to forgive his mother's murderer. Faced with such a tragedy, most people might never achieve forgiveness in their lifetime. However, Worthington eventually forgave the murderer. He outlined 5 steps, which he called the Reach therapy, with each letter representing the initial of a word. R. Recall, try to remember the pain in an objective manner. Avoid demonizing the other party, and don't wallow in self-pity. Worthington described the scene he imagined after suffering tremendous pain, still trying to remain objective. E. Empathize, view things from the offender's perspective. Imagine how the offender would explain their actions. They might think, I didn't intend to hurt him, but the old lady screamed, and I was afraid the police would come. I didn't think it through, and I knocked him down. Understand the psychology behind the offender. A. Altruistic, forgiving is for their own good. Think back to a time when you hurt someone, and they forgave you, leaving you filled with gratitude. Now, forgive those who have hurt you for their benefit. C. Commit, make a commitment to forgive them publicly, expressing your forgiveness either verbally or in writing. People under Worthington's guidance would sign a forgiveness certificate, or write a letter to the offender, or confide in a trusted friend. These are the necessary actions to achieve forgiveness. H. Hold, maintain the attitude of forgiveness. Forgiveness is challenging because the memories resurface. Forgiveness does not erase painful memories, it just changes how they are tagged. When you recall the pain, remind yourself that you have forgiven. Reread your forgiveness letter or go through the Reach process again. You might find this a bit cheesy or insincere, but there have been at least 8 studies measuring the effectiveness of this model. This method compels you to rewrite those sad stories from an objective perspective, making your memories less angry and anxious. Research shows that the less anger and tension you feel, the more optimism and health you have. The more you can forgive, the more apparent the positive effects of forgiveness become. Forgiveness releases you from the heavy burdens, and you'll feel lighter. Let the past remain in the past. To summarize, this section mainly discusses how to deal with your past. Exaggerating past misfortunes and holding grudges often prevent us from finding peace and contentment. Gratitude and forgiveness can change the intensity of your memories. Gratitude enhances the strength of positive memories, while forgiveness elevates your memory. By practicing gratitude and forgiveness, you can increase your memory's intensity and remove the fuse from painful memories, preventing them from igniting. You can use the Reach Forgiveness 5-step method: recall, empathize, altruistic, commit, and hold, to learn how to forgive. Practicing gratitude and forgiveness can make you happier. Now let's move on to the fourth topic: using emotion design and practicing to enhance happiness. First, let's understand negative and positive emotions and how to use both types of emotions. Negative emotions include fear, sadness, and anger. They act as our first line of defense against external threats, preparing us for combat. Research indicates that there is a genetic predisposition to negative emotions. Our ancestors who experienced the strongest negative emotions were likely the best survivors in times of conflict. Positive emotions, on the other hand, include joy, delight, fascination, warmth, and comfort. Positive emotions also have their purpose in evolution. They expand our intellectual, physical, and social resources, providing us with reserves to draw upon when opportunities and challenges arise. In essence, negative emotions act as an alert system for danger, while positive emotions are like neon signs indicating growth, making you more successful in absorbing social knowledge and maintaining physical health. Understanding the relationship between these two types of emotions is crucial. Positive emotions are a great match for tasks that require critical thinking, while they are also suited for jobs that involve creativity, imagination, and broad thinking. On the other hand, you can cultivate your positive emotions. Positive emotions enable us to think from a completely different perspective, moving away from negative thinking. If you build a life with positive emotions, you will find that you have more friends, improved physical health, and better job performance. So, when facing the future, be optimistic and full of hope. Now, let's move on to the final topic: practicing strengths to enhance happiness. Each one of us has strengths and weaknesses. Identifying your strengths and leveraging them can significantly increase your happiness. What strengths are we talking about? The author mentions qualities like curiosity, insight, judgment, creativity, a love of learning, courage, perseverance, kindness, and love, leadership, humor, humility, and prudence. If you use these qualities wisely, they can become your strengths and serve as weapons for achieving happiness. Here's an example. Nicole's parents ran a small restaurant, working tirelessly from morning to night, struggling to make ends meet. Nicole often helped her parents in the kitchen by washing dishes. One day, a drunken customer grabbed her mother's shoulder, used foul language, and angrily complained that the food tasted like rat meat and the beer was warm. Nicole rushed out from the kitchen and stood between her mother and the customer. With patience and sincerity, she calmly addressed the customer, "You're absolutely right, and we sincerely apologize. We were overwhelmed today, as you've seen. We genuinely hope you visit us again. Dinner is on the house, and next time you come, we'll throw in an extra beer." The customer left satisfied. Since then, Nicole's parents always assigned the most challenging customers to her, and she enjoyed it. Nicole possessed the social wisdom of an older person, accurately reading the thoughts of others and understanding their emotions and needs. The more urgent the situation, the calmer she became, and her skills became more adept. Her parents also encouraged her to cultivate this strength, and she began to develop it. In addition to this, she had two other outstanding strengths: a love of learning and leadership. When planning her lifelong career, Nicole considered all three strengths. Now, in her 60s, she is one of the most diplomatic experts in the academic field in the United States, a distinguished figure in sociology. She was recruited as the dean by a prestigious institution when she was in her 30s, and later became the university's president. This is the best example of how using your strengths can lead to success. The author teaches us an excellent way to find happiness in the workplace: align your work with your strengths. This will not only make you enjoy your work more but also infuse life into mundane tasks. When you genuinely want to do something, it can bring great satisfaction and increase your happiness. Alright, let's summarize. Each person has numerous strengths, and we should seize these strengths, highlight them in our work, relationships, love life, games, and child rearing. This will make your life more successful, and you will gain more satisfaction and genuine happiness. Finally, let's recap how to achieve a happy life. First, happiness encompasses everything people pursue, including maintaining a positive emotional state, engaging in life, fostering good relationships, and achieving a sense of accomplishment. Half of your happiness is determined by genetics, but the other half is within your control. When you learn to adjust your perspective on the past, present, and future to a positive state, taking control of the factors you can, your life will be filled with energy, and you will attain lasting happiness. There are 3 specific methods to achieve happiness. First, gratitude increases the intensity of positive memories, and forgiveness disconnects the fuse of painful memories. Second, choose your mindset and design your emotions based on the work you need to do. Negative emotions match well with tasks that require critical thinking, while positive emotions align with work that involves creativity, imagination, and broad thinking. Third, harness your strengths in work, relationships, love life, games, and child rearing to make your life more successful, leading to maximum satisfaction and genuine happiness. This is the most profound thinking from positive psychology about happiness. If you find yourself at the end of your rope, or material wealth is no longer bringing you joy, positive psychology reminds you that happiness comes from elevating your spiritual dimension. True happiness lies in being able to take pleasure, satisfaction, and deep engagement in your current life, whether it be in your work or family life, and experiencing happiness. The ultimate essence of happiness is realizing your self-worth through the application of your prominent character strengths. That concludes today's content. Congratulations on completing another book. Thank you for your support and attention. Please subscribe to the Tim Booker channel, give us a thumbs up, and share this with your family and friends. Wisdom is worth spreading, paving the way for a brighter future. Thank you, and goodbye.